welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another edition of Breathe with Patience, from anxiety to serenity. How are you feeling? How are you doing today? Stress is inevitable, it's all around us, but it doesn't have to be this way, okay? There is always a way out. And today I have with me in the studios a very special lady, also known as the Stress Buster. She has had her own experiences in life, and she's going to share her experience and her journey and how she is overcoming it day in and day out. So you, my viewer, you will know that you are not alone and you too can overcome it. So without much ado, I'd like to introduce to you Amy. Hello, Amy. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. So good to see you, Patience, today.
So good to see you. So where did you get the name Stress Buster from? My viewers, I'm curious and I know they would like to know too.
Well, my mentor that I've worked with, she named me that. And I'm like,
Really?
that's exactly what I've learned. If you would have asked me 3 years ago, I would have been like, oh, I don't deal with anxiety or I can manage stress, no problem. But I had to kind of come to the end of myself and really hit rock bottom, so to speak, before I realized that that's what I had been struggling with my whole life was anxiety.
Wow. So can you share with the viewers and myself what are some of these symptoms? Because sometimes you are going through things and you don't have a label or you don't have a name and you don't know what it really is, but you are not right in your body. So how was it for you?
Well, for me, I can tell you, I felt like my heart was pounding out of my chest.
Mm.
And it was certain situations, it wasn't all the time, but when I felt, and it really kind of goes back to probably my past and my childhood, but it was this feeling of rejection probably around certain people and certain situations. It was like my heart was right on my chest, pounding out of it. And breathing was just a little bit of an issue, but it was more like just this overwhelming panic type feeling.
Mm. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I felt mine like someone was sitting on my chest. I always tell people it was like an elephant sitting on my chest, and I had chest tightness. That was how I could describe it. It was like it was closing in.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. My daughter lets me share her story, and for her, she's a very elite athlete and really in great shape, works out a lot. But for her, she would be overcome and couldn't breathe. So it looked like she was kind of out of shape and couldn't catch her breath, and people thought it was asthma, but for her it was like really would take her like 10, 15 minutes when she got in a severe panic attack to be able to catch her breath, which is really scary,
Yeah. It
especially
is.
as her mom watching that.
Yes, and there is nothing you feel helpless and hopeless when someone is going through that. Wow. So how have you been able to navigate through this as a mom and as a person, your own person dealing with yours and watching your child go through that? What has helped you? What have you found that our viewers can use to help themselves too? Any tips?
Absolutely. Well, therapy has been a part of my journey and my daughter's, so I definitely recommend therapy. But along with that, finding support in small group communities has been a huge help for me. There's different people in my life, and a weekly support group that I went to for about 2 years straight. That really was a way to find people that are in similar situations that understand and get you and know how that feels. And so a place that you can really be authentic and be yourself and be accepted and loved for who you are and not try to be. Cause I realized I tried to be somebody, like I was always trying to be somebody that I mean, not that I wasn't an authentic person, but I was like putting on the mask almost like, yeah, I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And inside I wasn't.
Yeah, lots of people are going through life putting the mask on, especially like if you are a mom, you want to be strong for the kids so they don't see you crying. If you are a wife, you just want to be there for the man. If you go to work, you just want to put the professional face on, whilst on the inside, you are dying. So if a viewer is watching this right now and can relate to any of that, what advice would you, or what would you tell them so they can feel that there is
Yeah. Well, I had to learn that it's okay to not be okay. That was a huge step for me. So I like to say one of the keys to my success has been really being able to feel my feelings and face my fears. And it seems contrary, but what I realized is I spent most of my life running away from my fears.
Mm.
And so that actually, when you stop and face them, was Zig Ziglar that said this, you could either forget everything and run or face everything and rise. And that is what I found. Like when I sit in that feeling, instead of trying to run away from it, and there's different things I've used in my life, but when I actually just stop and actually just feel that what I'm feeling, I mean, it can be obviously overwhelming, but to really embrace it, that has helped me to really stop, feel my feelings. And then I have a couple of tools that I like to use. Uh, One of them is definitely journaling, huge. And it was, I think if I say his name right, Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you've heard of
Mhm.
him, a neuroscientist.
Yes.
Yeah, really, like when we journal, we're, so I've learned to do this. I want to feel blank. And so every day I've made a commitment to journal. I want to feel, and then moving towards that and using, well, I use the essential oils for sure. Those have been a huge help to
Mhm.
release negative and suppressed emotions, but then to put that on paper and to actually write it. And I like to tell people sometimes if you're holding past anger or bitterness towards somebody,
Mhm.
use the pen and paper, journal, write a letter, put all of it out there so you're not holding it. And then lots of times I will rip it up into 1,000 pieces. So I'm
Mm.
like, I don't want anybody to read this. It's not
Yes.
appropriate for anyone to read it, but it's things that I have felt that I have been carrying around. And once I put it on paper, rip it up, that has been a way to help me get rid of and release those feelings.
Wow, this is so practical. So, guys, if you're listening, she said, grab your pen, grab your paper, write everything that you are holding onto in your heart. And then when you're done, rip it up in pieces and let it go.
Yes.
Wow, that is so practical. Amy, can you take us back to the winter of 2018?
Yeah.
A phase of your life.
So as I was telling Serenity before, that I spent, well, I've 22 years since I've had any alcohol, but I only started my recovery 2.5 years ago. And that's like, what? Well, it's because I didn't drink, but I went to control. And so I thought like I wasn't okay. From the recovery factory, called it codependency. So I wasn't okay unless my kids were okay or my husband. So I was trying to fix their problems. I purposely carry a backpack. I have a backpack here by my office that's full of books. Well, I love books, but it's extra full, and I sometimes put it on my back. And I remember that I used to try to carry everyone else's problems around all the time and try to fix them, even my friends. And so that is what got me sick. So I didn't know what, just like I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And when I 2.5 years ago in the winter of 2018, I got to a place where I actually physically, I could barely walk. I couldn't drive my car. And I spent 6 weeks on the couch. So I had a lot of time to think and reflect and really wonder like I'm used to being an active person. So wondering what's my life going to look like? I'm in so much, I had physical pain, emotional pain, the relationships in my life, my kids. It was like everything came to this breaking place. And I was like, I need to do something different. That was the big wake up for me. Like, what am I doing that got me to this place? And what can I do different to move forward? Because I don't want my life to look like this. Because I have all these goals, I have all these things I want to achieve, and it's really hard to do when I was so broken in every way.
Wow, this is a great testimony. So you mean anxiety got you to the point where you were physically immobilized and had to be on the couch?
Yes, I had severe, and it was, if you've ever had sciatica pain, it starts in the back and it shot all the way down.
Yes, I
Yep.
had.
It shot all the way down into my leg, into my toes. And a friend of mine told me about a book. It's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. And so I actually looked like, what does it say about back pain? And the different things so related to me. And I realized how I was feeling physically. Most of it was a result of what I was dealing with emotionally. And I needed to get rid of anger. And I thought, oh, I forgive. there's different people in my life. I've forgiven them. It's okay. But really, I was still holding so much anger and unforgiveness. And like I like to tell people, is not we focus so much on what we eat. We want to eat organic, we want to drink our water, we want to cleanse, we want to get rid of toxins. But the thing that's the most toxic is actually our feelings. Like
Yeah.
that was what was eating me. Like my friend says, it's not just what you eat, it's what's eating you. And
Hmm.
so that was what I realized. Like I had to make some major changes because I wanted to be there for my family and really be a role model to my kids and I had to learn that I had to make myself a priority.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is amazing. And this is everything that anyone who is listening, if you didn't take anything at all, release, forgiveness. Because when you bottle up any emotion, bottles get filled up and they explode. And then it will explode into your physical being in any way, anyhow. Thank you so much, Amy, for these practical steps that you have shared. First of all, journaling and then letting it go, and then putting you first. Put yourself first on your list. I know everyone needs you, your children need you, your job needs you, everything needs you, but you need you too. So, friends, listen to your body and take good care of yourself first. So, Amy, before we leave, I will ask you to share with us where people can contact you. But before we do that, I would like to share this forgiveness affirmation since you brought it up and it's so important and vital. So, viewers, if you're listening right now, I want you to close your eyes wherever you are and repeat this with this affirmation that I'll be saying with you. Repeat it loudly and with feelings, okay? Because it's a feeling inside you that you have to release. It might be uncomfortable the first time, but I promise you, the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you will release it and you will not feel the pain and the control of it anymore. It will pass, but you have to start. Okay. Are you ready? With your permission, let us do this together. So close your eyes with me and say, I now forgive blank. So you mentioned the person's name. So if it is Adam, you say, I now forgive Adam for all hurts and harm that you have done to me. I gladly forgive you, Adam. I forgive you intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. I gladly let go of anger and hostility. And I choose to see you through the eyes of love and compassion. I wish you all the blessings of life. I am free and you are free. It is a marvelous feeling. All right, guys? So this is very simple. Put the person's name in the middle and release them. Keep doing it, write it out, just like Amy said, rip it up, throw it out. Anytime it comes up, keep doing it. Victory will be yours. So back to Amy. Amy, if someone wants to reach out to you and hear more about all the amazing work you're doing for the society, for yourself, for your community, and the whole world at large, where can they reach you?
Great, thanks, Serenity. So you can reach me at my website, Amy Grussing. So it's AMYGRUSSING.now. So NOW.site, SITE. So amygrussing.now.site.
All right. Thank you so very much, guys. If you have any questions you would like to advertise or sponsor on our show, please let me know. Reach out to us. We are here for you. I can't wait to see you on our next episode. Have a very, very great day. Bye, guys.